We offer our most respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees, O Lord, who are just like desire trees, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. All right. Big crowd.
Back to normal, Maharaj.
Back to normal. Oh, the new normal. Where have all the devotees gone? Long time passing. Gone. Gone to bedrooms everywhere. Gone to sleepy everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so. Uh-oh. Jayo Radha Madhova Kunjabi Hate Madhova Kunjabi Hare Jayo Radha Madhova Kunjabi Hare Gopi Janabalabha Hirivarunati Gopi Janabalabha Hirivarunati Yasodanandana Vrajadyanuranjana Yasodanandana Vrajadyanuranjana Jamunatira Manachari Yamunatira Manachari Jaya Radhu Madhuva Kunjabi Hare Jaya Radhu Madhuva Kunjabi Hare Gopi Jana Ballabha Hirivarudhare Gopi Jana Ballabha Hirivarudhare Chaitanya Prajajanuranjana Yasodanandana Praja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Manachari Yamuna Tira Manachari Jaya Radam Badhura Kunya Bihari Jaya Radhu Madhuva Kunya Bihari Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Paravidikacharya also Teta Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Chanananda Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadha Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shaima Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Mathuradam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Samaniti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasacha Deja Tarni. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 76th chapter, text 27. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pradyumnam Gadaya Sena Vaksha Salam Aring Damam Apovah Ranat Suto Dharma Vid Darukat Maja Pradyumnam Gataya Shena Vakshastalam Marimdamam Apovoharanatsuto Dharmavid Darukatmacha Prajunam Gadaya Sirna Vakshastalam Hrindamam Apovaharanatsuto Dharmavid Darukatmaja Pradyumnam Gadaya Sirna Vakshastalam Hrindamam Apovaharanatsuto Dharmavid Darukatmaja. Okay. Ladies. Right? Prajunam Prajuna Gadaya by the club. Shirna shattered. Vakshastalam whose chest. Arim of enemies. Damam the subduer. Apovaha removed. Renat from the battlefields. Sutta his chariot driver. Dharma of his religious duty. Vit the expert knower. Daruka Atmaja, the son of Daruka, Lord Krishna's driver. Translation: Prajuna's driver, the son of Daruka, thought that his valiant master's chest had been shattered by the club. Knowing well his religious duty, he removed Prajuna from the battlefield. You can repeat. Prajuna's driver, the son of Daruka, thought that his valiant master's chest had been shattered by the club. Knowing well his religious duty, he removed Prajuna from the battlefield. So purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that actually Lord Pradyumna has a Satchidananda body, an eternal spiritual form that can never be wounded by mundane weapons. Daruka's son, however, was a great devotee of the Lord, and out of intense love, he feared for the safety of his master and thus removed him from the battlefield. Srila Prabhupada writes, the name of Shalva's commander-in-chief was Duman. He was very powerful, and although bitten by 25 of Pradyumna's arrows, he suddenly attacked Pradyumna with his fierce club and struck him so strongly that Pradyumna became unconscious. Immediately there was a roaring. Now he is dead. Now he is dead. The force of the club on Pradyumna's chest was very severe, enough to tear asunder the chest of an ordinary man. Very exciting. And just quickly reading Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and Jiva Goswami's commentary. Actually, the spiritual chest of Pradyumna cannot be pierced by the material club of Juman. However, the Leela Shakti, not the temple prison, quickly arranged all of this in order to increase his taste for energetic fighting. His driver, thinking that he had actually been pierced in the chest, took him from the battlefield somewhere else. He did this because he was knowledgeable of the proper action. The scriptures say that the charioteer should protect the warrior in danger. However, by the rules of Sandhi, the charioteer can also be described as a dharma vid, not knowing the truth, since he was not aware that Pradyumna has a body which was Satchidananda. But his ignorance in this matter was also very suitable, for he was the son of Daruka. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says that Parikshit, it's here anyway. Yeah, it's Bengali. It's actually Sanskrit, Parikshit. Daruka and Uddhava had Rag Bhakti for the Lord. The son of Daruka, who had such great prema, therefore had great affection for Pradyumna and therefore took him from the field. So Jiva Goswami says, he removed him from the field, though his chest was not shattered, Asirna Vaksha Stalam, so that he could again defeat his enemy after resting a moment, Arindaram, but was removing him proper. He knew the dharma protecting the warrior on the chariot, since he was the son of Daruka. Again, the verse. Pradyumnam gadiyasira vakshastalam rindavam apovaha renatsuto dharmavid darukat maja. So Om Gana Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shlakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurve Namaha. Several points here. One is the duty of the charioteer. And we see other instances of this in Vedic history. I mean, even at one point, there was a lady charioteer. Oh my God, what's happening? I'm sure that some of my friends in India will not be too happy with this one. Kaikeyi, she was a charioteer of Dasarath. Oh my God, a lady driver? What will Basha Ghosh think about? Oh, sorry. What will he think about this? She was, and a similar thing happened in Dasarath, was knocked unconscious. She took him out of the battlefield and rejuvenated him, and therefore she was given these blessings, you know, whatever you want in the future, just ask for it in the future. And she said, great. So, and then there's even, amongst the demons this happens. One time Lord Ram was fighting Ravan. And this is before Ravan was actually killed. This is another day when Lord Ram was just trying to embarrass Ravan. So Lord Ram knocked him unconscious, and his chariot driver took him away from the battlefield. And he chastised Ravan, chastised his charioteer, with very harsh words. He's getting ready to kill him, basically, because the Kshatriya Dharma is that you should be ready to defeat your enemy or die. And it's like a coward to run away from the battle. But the charioteer explained to our dear friend Ravan that it's my duty, and I wanted to protect you so you could be able to fight with Rama another day. So Ravan eventually accepted that. So you find many instances of this. But what I wanted to talk about today was a devotee's anxiety for Krishna. And in order to have anxiety for Krishna's protection, you really have to what? Forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like if you're thinking, he's God, he can take care of himself. He has a Satchidananda body. So, let me take care of myself. I'm the charioteer. I'm going to do something so I don't get attacked. Actually, many times the charioteer would get attacked. You read about this in the Ramayana, that sometimes in the fighting, Lord Ram or Lakshman would cut off the head of the charioteer. This is so it was dangerous to be a charioteer. And also in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna got attacked. By who? Grandfather? Wow, I gave it away. By Grandfather Bhishma. And he had all these arrows in his body, and he accepted the arrows as what? Lovites. That's a Kshatriya. And anyway, this is a chivalrous relationship. So in any case, this is quite common in Krishna's pastimes, not only in Vrindavan, but outside of Vrindavan. You find this. Of course, this is outside of Vrindavan, the story we're hearing today, where the son of Daruka is actually in anxiety out of love to protect his master. And so let's go to Vrindavan first and tell some stories about Vrindavan. Of course, the typical example that we always use about devotees and anxiety is Yashoda Mai being in anxiety about Krishna's protection or Krishna's safety. And there's many, many instances they were not only in anxiety, but it's described that they were in transcendental ecstasy in the distress of maternal affection. Transcendental anxiety, or transcendental ecstasy. It's an ecstasy. It's actually an ecstasy to be in anxiety. And Prabhupada revealed, leaving Vrindavan for a moment, Prabhupada revealed that he was in anxiety about his movement. I mean, there's that whole story that when he sent TKG, that's Tamal Krishna Maharaj, we use acronyms in the Krishna conscious movement, GBC, TKG, SAC. SAC doesn't mean get rid of someone, it just means sometimes they say, let's sack the sack. You ever heard that expression? I'm sure you did. So he sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj to buy the property of Mayapur, and he was worried about Tamal Krishna Maharaj because Tamal Krishna Maharaj went with all this money in sort of an improvised money belt. And Bengal's not the safest place to walk around with a lot of money or any money. And Prabhupada was basically pacing the room in anxiety. And and when Tamal Krishna Maharaj came back, he was relieved. He told TKG to take prasadam, and Prabhupada was able to rest at that time. So even Prabhupada, an anxiety over his disciples, and Prabhupada, and I forget the exact words that Srila Prabhupada used. I joined the Krishna conscious movement to be peaceful, and I'm not peaceful. Anyway, I forget the exact quotation, but Prabhupada said something like that. That, and Prabhupada was always in anxiety over the plight of the conditioned souls, over his movement. You see so much anxiety when someone did something that imperiled his movement. Prabhupada reacted in extreme ways. I mean, when he saw some Mayavad philosophy or his godbrother's influence coming into the movement in America, he called him out, Krsna Maharaj again, and said, "Get me out of here." Not only was there anxiety, it's just like, the natural response, what is it called? Fight, or what is the second one? Anyone remember? Flight, isn't it? Fight or flight? Or freeze. That's a flight. That's flight. That's also flight. That's the ostrich flight. Ostrich sticks his head in the sand. Prabhupada said, "Get me out of here." I mean, it's too much dealing with these people who just were taking up a Mayavad philosophy or influenced by his godbrothers. Get me out of here. Fight or flight. So you find this reaction, and it's actually spiritually purifying. Like Prabhupada's anxiety about TKG, Prabhupada's anxiety, I mean, it's not that TKG had a body made of Satchidananda. Maybe he did, but I don't know. But anyway, maybe now he does. But still, Prabhupada's anxiety was a symptom of love. That's the point. Even in this material world, anxiety. I mean, even in the material world, you have the parents and anxiety over the children, guru anxiety over the disciples. You have persons trying to build a temple, anxiety over money, isn't it? I'm anxiety over the fate of the ISKCON movement in the Western world. I'm just going for a meeting tomorrow. I know the meeting is the next day, but going tomorrow. And nobody wants to talk about, how the alarm bells are ringing as far as, the Western world. And I don't want to get it. I guess I could mention that, leaders, Western leaders in the Krishna conscious movement, we're the last Western leader on the GBC, turn the lights out. So, Hare Krishna. So anyway, getting back to the point. So anxiety can be spiritual, and it can be purifying. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a spiritual emotion. Of course, in the material world, it's not a spiritual emotion. When you're in anxiety over, is there going to be enough prasadam left after the Sunday feast for me? I know it's in regard to prasadam, but it's not spiritual because you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about others. Of course, being in anxiety about one's spiritual advancement is another thing. I've been in the Krishna consciousness movement so long, and I don't have any taste for chanting or hearing. That's anxiety is good, because that pleases Krishna. And without anxiety, in one sense, some impelling force like that, it's hard to get up and do anything. I mean, anxiety is required to make advancement, to spread the movement like that. And Prabhupada said we should be anxious how to spread the Krishna conscious movement. So let's get back to Vrindavan, because we left Vrindavan. Not literally, figuratively. So Yashodamai was always worried that Krishna's going to be hurt by the cows, the monkeys, the dogs, and the recurring theme you hear quite often is Krishna's feet being pierced by thorns. So Krishna, when he went out to herd the cows and the calves, he didn't even put shoes on at all. Not even Birkenstocks. Sorry. might have to be, it's my nature. So he didn't even put anything on his feet. And, you know, Mother Yashoda would implore him, you got to put something on your feet. And the gopis, they were in anxiety about this. And Krishna said, I'm not going to put anything on my feet because the cows don't have shoes. And they don't have anything on. Of course, they did have hooves. They have natural feet, natural shoes. They're built in. So there's so much anxiety, even over a little thing. Of course, it's not little. Mother is always in anxiety. And Krishna's girlfriends, the gopis, are in anxiety about this. So you hear about this. Is a typical thing that's described many places. And of course, when other stories is whenever Krishna got attacked by a demon, Krishna defeated the demon, Yashoda Maya would just like do all these different rituals, you know, take a cow's tail, you know, the hair from a cow's tail, and do all these different rituals to protect Krishna. Sometimes I was thinking, like, during the installation of the deities, you actually take the hair from the cow's tail, and it's a whisk thing. You sort of whisk it. Anyone seen that during installations? And it's sort of, that's to protect Krishna. That's actually the same thing that Yashoda Maya did. Interesting, isn't it? That's the reason for that particular ceremony. When you're, you know, you put this sort of this powder on Krishna and you whisk it off. I'm sure devotees have seen that. And then Yashoda Maya was afraid of thunderbolts, and she got anxiety when the cart, Shakatashura, fell down. And there was anxiety, you know, outside of Vrindavan. Was it Devaki and Vasudeva were in anxiety about Krishna's safety. You know, it's interesting that before Krishna was actually appearing as a little baby, he appeared as the four-armed Vishnu form. And so, you know, I'm God, and all of a sudden, become a baby. And because of Yogamaya, they forgot that Krishna was God. They were just thinking, oh my God, we got to protect him from, oh my God. We got to protect him from this Kamsa guy. And Krishna's friends also were anxiety that Krishna, after being out in the field all day long taking care of the cows, they thought, you know, he's tired, exhausted. So they would, you know, because he was battling all these demons every day. I mean, we read about a few of the demons, but there literally are probably thousands of demons, at least one a day. A demon a day keeps illusion away. So, and they were all worried, you know, he's really tired. So they would anxiously, it's described in the Vedic literatures, the description, they would anxiously massage him and fan him, you know, come on. It's almost like in a boxing match, you know, when in between rounds, then the people who are taking care of the boxer, you ever see that? They just fan him and say, you know, yeah, come on, you got to get him. So the coward boys would do that with Krishna. And even when Krishna was kidnapping Rukmini was fearful for Krishna's safety. Of course, he very shortly allayed her fearfulness by taking care of her brother like that. Anyway, so much anxiety is there. And then in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes too, you have this devotee Damayanti. Anyone's heard of Damayanti? She was the one who made all this healthy prasadam from Krishna. And she was for Lord Chaitanya. And she was always afraid that Lord Chaitanya would get sick from overeating or indigestion. So she would make all these different preparations for him. And Lord Chaitanya was very, very thin. Actually, it's interesting. One time the devotees painted a picture of the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan, and they all look like big muscle men. And Prabhupada said, "This is your Western conception." The 6 Goswamis were extremely thin because they were very, very renounced in their eating and other activities like that. So devotees were very concerned. His attendants were very concerned, actually, especially Jagadananda. He was very concerned, isn't it, for Lord Chaitanya's physical well-being, anxiety about that. So he got him some cushions. Of course, Lord Chaitanya rejected those cushions, and later on, Swarup Damodar tore some leaves from the banana plant or plantain trees and wrapped them into Lord Chaitanya's old dhoti, and this way Lord Chaitanya was not sleeping on the floor. He was sleeping on the floor before, well, I don't know if it was concrete, but stone floor of the Gambhira. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put the devotees in anxiety all the time when he was going unconscious during trance, running into the ocean. Can you imagine that? Imagine your worshipful deity. He disappears from his house one day, and you can't find him. And he's gone into the ocean, and his anxiety and his body has become elongated. And he's caught by a fisherman. I mean, so much anxiety, isn't it? In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Shoo. And even there was anxiety because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one time was running towards a female singer. And, because he didn't, in his trance, he didn't recognize it was a female singer. She was singing, I think, the Gita Govinda. And he was running towards her to embrace the singer. Isn't it? And Govinda just basically tackled him. And he said, "You should take care of me. There's danger everywhere." Of course, for a sannyasi, to embracing a lady is danger, great danger. So, well, even apart from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's past, I have some examples I noted down here, I wrote down last night. There's when, of course, the Ramayana story where Indrajit fired this Shakti Shila weapon at Lakshman. And Lord Ram was in anxiety, right? Oh my God, he's been hit by the Shakti Shila weapon, which is no remedy. Actually, in the Valmiki Ramayana, you have Hanuman going back twice to the mountains to get the Sanjeevani. It's not just one. I don't know about the Tulsidas Ramayana, but the Valmiki Ramayana, he goes back twice. Once for Lakshman. And then another time, of course, Ram and Lakshman, Lord Ram and Lakshman were hit by these snake weapons. And then everyone was in anxiety about their safety. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then you have Sita in anxiety because Ravan produced this replica of the head of Lord Ram and said, "I've killed your husband, now you can marry me, dear." That's a real nice engagement present. The head of your husband. Anyway, and Sita Devi was in anxiety. Ram has been killed. And then Ram was in anxiety when Indrajit came, and Indrajit produced a false Sita, and Indrajit cut off her head or threw her off the chariot, depending on which Ramayana you're reading. And he thought, now what's the use of this battle? Sita's been killed. Oh my God. Oh my God. And Sita was an anxiety for Ram's safety when, of course this is Maya Sita in this particular case, but for Ram's safety when Ram was chasing after the golden deer. Oh my God. So, anyway, I guess we have to get into application. We could tell so many stories about anxiety in Krishna's pastimes. And it just deepens. It just deepens the devotee's attachment, and it's forgetfulness that Krishna or Sita's position, what their position is, it's Satchidananda body. It's forgetfulness. Now, for us, how do we awaken that anxiety in relationship to Krishna? Because, generally we are worshiping the deities in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan. And we understand, philosophically, at least I try to understand, that aham adirthi devanam, Ishwara, sarvabhutanam, Hridesharjuna, tishtati. So, it's hard to be in anxiety when you understand Krishna's controlling everything. Whatever, Krishna wants, I can eat. I can be like that Avaduta. If Krishna sends food, then I'll be able to eat. And if Krishna doesn't, that's his will. Krishna wants the temple built, that's all right. If he doesn't want the temple built, I just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. You find devotees get into that mood, a lackadaisical mood. So, how do we, well, first of all, in deity worship, there's natural anxiety about the timing, about the cleanliness, the punctuality, which we mentioned before, timing. There's a natural anxiety, and it's sort of like halfway like a maternal or paternal relationship that you have. Now, not that you should get into it too much, Krishna's my baby. But you find so many people walking around with what? Ladu Gopal, especially Pushti Marg. You see that? Actually, I remember even Jai Shri, when she was first devotee, she went to India, she was walking around with this maternal affection for Ladu Gopal. And actually, I just told Krishna Priya back there that she's married to Ladu Gopal. But anyway, so... So, there's sort of a maternal affection, paternal affection when you're dealing with the deities. But we should be in anxiety to please Krishna's representative. That's how we can actually be in anxiety generally. Like Prabhupada. I mean, that's one thing that inspires me a lot. How can I please Prabhupada? I'm in anxiety. I mean, I look and think, look at my face in the mirror. You're old. What have you done for Prabhupada? What is the state of the movement, which I mentioned before? What is the state of the movement? Is the movement, is there going to be some split based on the Vaishnavi Diksha Guru or not? We got so little time. Where are the future leaders of the movement who are preachers? One thing that I'm excited, actually I could mention this real quickly, is that a lot of the some of the up-and-coming leaders, the high-level leaders, are not preachers, they're managers. Some of them have never given don't give Bhagavatam classes. So it's anxiety, because it's Prabhupada. It's the connection with Prabhupada. I know Krishna will take care of himself. I know he has a Satchidananda body. He's not going to hurt himself by walking in the fields. I know that Krishna will figure out how not to get in trouble with Yashoda Mai. So, I can't really do Ashtakaliya Leela because I already know Krishna is God. And, I know he's going to wake up, get back in time, So he's all right by himself. But what about pleasing Prabhupada? Because Prabhupada's in anxiety. We should take Prabhupada's anxiety. we should take our spiritual master's anxiety. And that's how we can really deepen, our Krishna consciousness, which part of that anxiety is how to be Krishna conscious. If I'm Krishna conscious, I'll be capable of relieving my spiritual master's anxiety. If I'm not Krishna conscious, I won't be empowered to do it anyway. It's not just a material adjustment. So anyway, so these are some of the thoughts I had in regard to anxiety. Yes? What about Vaikuntha? I ain't going there.
The look is above Vaikuntha, it should include it.
What's that?
The look is above Vaikuntha, it should include it. So what do we?
I know.
It's always saying that we become free from anxiety.
I'm sure, the spirits are free from material anxiety. I am sure that even in the Vaikuntha planets, we're talking about as separate from Goloka Vrindavan right now in different contexts, that they do have some anxiety to please the Lord. Because without that anxiety, like you were talking about awe,
Well, what's the differentiation between material anxiety and spiritual anxiety?
in material anxiety, it's not based upon Krishna or Krishna's representative pleasing them. And spiritual anxiety is based on pleasing Krishna or Krishna's representatives. It's a very simple definition. But without anxiety, it's like you were talking about awe the other day. Yeah, awe, not awe, A-W-E, I'm sorry, my accent. You're talking about awe, so awe just like inspires you. But anxiety, not too much. Don't want to be in too much anxiety. Anxiety can be crippling also. So you have to learn how to deal with it. But there has to be some anxiousness to please, to do something. I remember, just even like in Prabhupada's Vyas Puja ceremony in New Vrindavan, I was anxious how I can get the remnants from Prabhupada's. So that anxiety inspired me to punch all the other devotees and climb on top of them and steal the cake. I'm sure Puraji remembers that one. But that was anxiety. Had to get the mercy. Had to become Krishna conscious. Anyway, time to go. All glories to Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namani Namane Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Purvani Maja, Nay, Namaste, Srisanyavani, Achachati Satari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jitway Radha Shiva Sari Bhavata Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Radha Shiva Sari Bhavata Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Guru Kinana, Guru Kinana, Radhe. Guru Kinana, Guru Kinana, Radhe. Jaya Hey Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Jaya Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jaya Sri Raghate. Jai Om Vishnupad. Paramahamsa. Acharya, ultimate tenors of the Shiva. Shiva is divine grace. Abhaya Charadara, Goswami. Shiva Prabhupada.
Jai.
Founder Acharya Prabhupada.
Jai.
Ananda Koji Vaishnava.
Jai.
Namacharya Shiva
Jai.
Friends, say, go Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda, Shiva Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Radha Krishna Gaur Govardhan. Shyama Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Majuram Ki Jai. Swami Ki Jai. Vimunai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulasi Devi. Sumedha Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda. All glories to the Sample Lord. All glories to the Sample. All glories to the Sample. All glories to Shri Guru
Happy birthday, Ananda. Hare Krishna. Chaitodarpanam Arjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitarnam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapitani Amita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dordaiva Midrishami Janina Nuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amani Namana Dana Kirtaniya Sadari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim. Happy birthday. Shakamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Oetiki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Vishameva Vambuda Kribaya Davabada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nainam Galashu Daraya Varanam Gadgurudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Bhavishayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahiname Ashlishyava Padamritam Anastumam Adarshanam Marma Hatokara Tatatava Vidadatulam Pato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictant living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no desire. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower in the straw on the street. One should be more